Hi, you guys. Hopefully, you can hear me. Well, I said, let me just come on here. So yeah, it's a bunch of stuff going on out here, and I said, let me just go live. Sometimes it's just easier just to go live and kind of put everything out there. Um, and I've definitely been wanting to kind of touch on that Denea Jackson situation because a lot of people created commentary around her infidelity um, workshop, I guess. It's something that she's putting together. And she put $5,000 price tag on it now. It's giving Juanita bottom. It's giving Juanita. And, I don't know. Maybe it's people out here who may feel like it's worth it for them. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle. If folks want to pay her $5,000 to hear her say whatever it is, then I mean that's on them. Now I thought that she could do something with the church girl summer. I was like, that's a cute title. I know she got the clothing boxes. I thought, that would be a cute situation if she could put together like a 4-day mini conference or, meetup or something. But $5,000, I don't know what all you're supposed to get with for this $5,000, and then maybe she's gonna have some really good um, doctors and speakers there. So she would have to pay these people. So I don't know. I just give people the benefit of the doubt. When they come up with this stuff, they are probably doing it for a reason. That's just how I think. But she was saying people are trying to discourage people away from her. That interview, Letaria's interview, got some real big numbers. Got some real big numbers. So I mean, yeah, she should do something with it while she has this. And she's been getting attention ever since all that stuff broke with Tasha K. Anyway, her Instagram shot up, and she's been consistently online working. So she's been getting the attention for a while now. But that interview did really well for him, for Latarius. So I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about this $5,000 conference or whatever it is, workshop. I don't know what she's planning on charging people $5,000 for, but what do you guys think about that? And remember, she was the one that was behind all that stuff, the books and whatever Derek had going on. She was the brains behind all putting all that stuff together, getting him to put the books out there. So she is pretty much aware of what she's doing. That's why I said there's probably some reason why she had to put that type of price tag on there. So I don't know, but let me know what you guys think in the comments about her infidelity conference workshop that she's trying to put together. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that really fast. Um, And surprisingly, people are still supporting Derek too. Let me just throw that in there as well. Like, I don't know. I kind of agree with her. I think some of these women are just more caught up on the physical of him, right? And so you guys are ignoring all the red flags and all the signs and all the BS that you know is to be true. Just based on the way he looks. Um, at the end of the day, I kind of agree with her about that. But anyway, so the next story that I want to jump on really fast was this John Amos situation. I was going to put a video up, but I said, let me just go on and bring it up in here because the media, mainstream media, they're reporting that an investigation has been opened up because the daughter was out here saying that he was being abused. And it made me think about the Wendy Williams situation as well, and her son coming out saying that his mother is not well. And it is possible these people, Wendy and John, could be hiring these folks themselves. You have to place trust in people to do what they say that they're going to do and just hope that they're going to really do those things. and then you could find out that, they're not who they say they are. And so it could be a very similar situation. I mean, the daughter, I don't know why the daughter would lie about this. I know a lot of commentary that I was listening to yesterday, a lot of people felt like maybe she's just trying to, raise money for her own stuff, and she's just using her father to do that. I don't know. Now, I was watching this video here that's here on YouTube because I was trying to see, well, is he okay? Do we have the money really to really take care of himself? And he should, and he does. According to this video, they showed his estates at the end of the video, and I can't remember the name of the channel, but it's here on YouTube. You put his name in, I'm sure it'll come up. They were showing he has two separate ranch houses, estates, and one is in Colorado Springs, which is where the daughter is saying that he was abused. Is a nice estate, so he may have hired somebody to go in to help him, and the person might be in there doing all kind of other stuff. So there could be some truth to what the daughter is reporting, and hopefully, for her sake, it is, because people don't realize they can get in a lot of trouble with that GoFundMe stuff. You can't be out here, you know, collecting X amount of dollars, especially when you start going over a certain amount of money, lying like that or making up stuff just so people will give the money. Um, so she definitely should be careful with that. So hopefully, whatever she's saying, there's some type of truth to it. And I get the feeling that there is. Maybe he's embarrassed by the story getting out there like that. Um, I don't know. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. But the whole story is kind of weird because I'm like, well, why don't he live with the kids? But maybe he didn't want to leave his property, right? Maybe he wanted to continue to stay because he's like 80 something, 83. Maybe he just wanted to continue to stay on his property, and they didn't want to uproot their situations. And I don't know, but they definitely should have had some type of presence when he hired whoever. That's just how I feel about that. Even with Wendy Williams, I agree with her son. Her son needs to have presence. He needs to stay on top of whoever it is that's supposed to be looking over Wendy. So I do agree with the son about that. Now, somebody was saying that there was a report out here that what New Jersey, or where was she living? I think she was in New York. We're saying that he needs to return Wendy, or they might arrest him. I don't know what's going on. I don't know. That was the story that was out here this morning. But I agree with the son. They need to watch these people. you know she's not related to these people, and hell, you got to watch the folks she related to. Let's just keep real about that too. So I mean, I agree with him. They need to keep an eye on her and keep an eye on whatever these people that are in her business or handling her business. And the same thing with John Amos. I was kind of sad about John Amos because I'm like, he should be viewed as an American treasure. He's definitely been viewed as, the Black American father, for our community for many years. I know I grew up watching that show, and then generations after mine were still watching Good Times. And so I don't like hearing stuff like that. Like, we should be better as a people, even as a community around some of these people that are getting up in age like that. Like, that's not okay, to me. And that's just my opinion. Everybody don't have to feel like that. Because speaking of our people, let me segue into Peter Thomas. Now, I don't know if y'all saw this interview, child. Um, this interview with Tasha K and Peter Thomas, manager for his Miami location of Bar One. Now, the lady, and I was trying to look at the timeline because he put some videos up as well, kind of saying that don't believe her, she's a scammer and all this stuff, like at the beginning of the month. And I was thinking, well, maybe Tasha announced that she had this interview coming. I don't know. I don't know how he knew, other than that maybe Tasha put it out there on her web page or on her app that she was going to interview this manager. But he has her mug shot up and some pictures of some checks saying that he paid her to go away or whatever. Um, and people were looking at the checks and picking up little things as well. You know, it's definitely some stuff that's not right with the story. And Peter is another one. You're kind of getting a little too old to be out here with all this foolishness. You know, I'm sorry, and I've been very supportive of Peter since he's been on Real Housewives of Atlanta, and so it's kind of disappointing to hear all this stuff sometimes that keeps coming up around his name. You know, he's calling this woman a scammer, but you act like you just get arrested for writing bad checks. What a year or so ago. So if she's a scammer, you're a scammer too. And at the end of the day, that's just what that is. Then the whole thing with him choking out Tammy Rivera's niece or who a cousin or whomever it was that she was related to, that story was just out here as well. And people been saying for years that he don't pay his employees. Okay, let's just keep it real. Because even when he first went on to Real Housewives of Atlanta, I remember the restaurant that was in downtown um, East Point, you know, that just closed abruptly, and it wasn't no COVID going on at that time. People that I had met while I was living in Atlanta said that he didn't pay them, and that was way back when when he and Cynthia first went on the show. A couple people on two separate occasions, and they didn't even not at the same time, were telling me that they worked at that restaurant and how he just update and closed the doors and didn't even tell them, and they never got paid. And so you kind of have a history of not paying people, and yeah, like I was saying about Chica, we can all use all kind of stuff as our crutch, but at some point that stuff becomes old. People don't want to keep hearing the same old excuses. You're a small business, but it's a lot of small businesses that conduct themselves the right way with some integrity. And then towards the end of, because I watched the interview here on YouTube, towards the end of the interview that Tasha played on YouTube, and she did this obviously to get to everybody to run over to her app. Um, the lady Alicia started saying how Peters has this thing where he says that we black people are not his people, as in to say that we're not Jamaican. If you're not Jamaican, you're not his people. Um, and with another thing that's sad about that is that anytime you see any views from Peter's restaurant, all you see is black folk in there, and all them folks ain't Jamaican, okay? But it's nice to know that we not your people because people need to stop supporting him and they need to stop going down there applying for those jobs as well. Let him get his people in there. Let him mistreat his own people, as he say, whoever his people is. Because now he's on Instagram talking about oh y'all know I'm FUBU, I'm FUBU, I'm for us by us. Yeah, we found out FUBU wasn't really FUBU either. So we're not buying into the FUBU nonsense. Yeah, I didn't like that part, and I kind of get the feeling that he may have really said that because she said that he was saying, he don't care about not, I guess, not paying people because we're not his people. But like I said, even the people that patronize that restaurant, patronize his places, if you look at any video, even the videos that are on the websites for those restaurants, 90% of the people, if not more, I'm being nice by just saying 90, but the majority of the people that go in his establishments are black people. Okay. And so you definitely shouldn't be let any type of foolishness out like that because don't nobody else patronize you like black folk. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. I didn't go over to the app to see the rest of the interview, but let me know what y'all thought about all of this. And she said that he was going to use her name and make it sound like she, is some criminal or whatever. And like she was saying, and like her and Tasha was sitting there saying, maybe that was the reason that he hired her in the first place, because then you can kind of hide behind her, right? Put all the criminal activity on her, and she may have felt or sensed that, and that's why she came out and told her story like she said. But let me know what y'all think about all of that in the comments, child. That Peter stuff got really, really, really messy, And like a lot of people were saying in some comments that I was reading, even on his page, people going in on him on his Instagram. He's definitely getting up there as well. I think they said he's like 62, 63. You're getting a little too old to keep playing all these games. And these folks is out here with these guns. I ain't wishing no bad on nobody. But these folks is out here with these guns today, baby. They not playing like that out here. Um, your time sometimes it comes up. You gotta stop thinking that you could just run all over everybody. It's really easy. Well, I guess it's hard. It must be real hard to do the right thing out here. Let me just say that. Maybe it's harder to do the right thing than it is to not. But yeah, if you can't run your establishments with a little bit more integrity than that, then maybe you should find something else to do with yourself, right? Maybe you should go harder in the entertainment industry so you can go on and sit down somewhere, because I think telling people you're not going to pay them, that's not always going to fly everywhere. It's just not. Um, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about that. And like a lot of people say, you're just getting too old to think that you just gonna keep walking all over everybody um, like that. It's not going to end well to doing stuff like that. Um, and she was saying that he likes to, which a lot of these guys do. They like to use women, of course. In that way, they will hire. And even like I said, these guns plentiful out here, man, woman, child. Everybody got one child. These kids is going to school with guns in their backpacks. You're hearing these stories all the time. So that's all I'm saying. You know, at some point, we just gotta clean up all of that stuff. Like, we ain't gotta be your people, but when you hiring folk, regardless of race, you need to do what you say that you're gonna do, right? You need to be paying for folks their money, and if you can't pay people, be honest about that, right? Because maybe there are things that you can work out with folks, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, but to sit out here and take this nasty attitude that we're not Jamaican, so you don't have to pay us, is kind of, that's a lot. But and this is all allegedly, I guess, because that's what she was saying. But you do wonder what makes him keep doing this? Because, like I said, this is not no new conversation around Peter. People have been saying Peter haven't been paying them for years. So we know for sure that that is some truth to it, because it's been said for years. And I see that his name is not on the Sports One in Charlotte. I guess he's no longer involved with Sports One. I know that who's the guy that Portia was married to? Cordell was one of the investors in Sports One, and I think somebody else. So maybe they just bought him out of it, and I don't know, or maybe they just all sold it all together. But I don't see his name on it at all, or any pictures of him. So, and I think she said the one in Baltimore is having issues as well. So I don't know. And then Tasha was saying Dennis, she's gonna do a story on Dennis as well. Now there's been talk about Dennis as well, so I'm not surprised to hear that. I'm a little bit surprised because I've never heard anybody say that he didn't pay them though. But there was some talk about him in the hair industry with Toya, um, Toya Wright Johnson, child, whatever her name is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Renee's mama. So yeah, so there was already some talk about him as well. So I don't know what Tasha got going on, child, but Lord, people just need to, just do the right stuff. When you're doing the right stuff, then you don't have to worry about nobody talking about you. It's kind of that's it, and that's all. Um, what else is going on? Oh, that whole Dennis Byron, and as I was listening to it, I said the lady's name was Evelyn in that video, but her name is Eva. I don't know where I got Evelyn from. Eva the Weave Slayer. I think that's the name of her channel. But she was, I don't know, was talking about this in the other video, how she was saying and she don't believe Dennis Byron that nobody is getting arrested, that he's just trying to go viral because he's upset that he didn't get a lot of attention behind it, this Tory Lanez trial, and that Milagro was getting all the attention and all of the conversation. But she was going hard for him, and she was kind of the only one, and so she will stand out among the crowd. Her, Nick at Night, and Armand were probably the ones getting the most attention covering it from the YouTube side. Um, and he got a lot of attention around that Tasha K trial because he had issues with Tasha K, and I think people just wanted to hear what he had to say. And some of us didn't even know that there was some type of beef between them. Um, and so, I guess he wasn't getting enough attention, so he put this story out here about somebody possibly getting arrested. And he's saying that there's no way that Milagro could have checked because nobody would compromise their job by telling her that. So I don't know. Um, he went live with Armand, and I don't believe him. That's just my opinion. I don't believe him. The way he was giggling and stuff, I think that he's just like Eve was saying. He's just after attention because he didn't really get the that same attention. Like I said, like Milagro was getting behind that Tory situation. I was listening to Pam Esquire a little bit this morning as well, um, and she was going over like paperwork regarding his sentencing, and she's saying that they're probably going to postpone it again. I think it's coming up sometime this week, and she said that the lawyers are probably going to try to get it postponed, the sentencing again, and because of something, some technicality with the paperwork. And so, one thing about his lawyers, they are going hard for him. They're going as hard for him as they can go. So, you know, that's all I got with that. But she was saying that she feel like that they're going to postpone it again, the sentencing. So he's probably not going to get sentenced this week. That's Y'all can go over to Pam Esquire's channel and listen to her video. She put that up this morning. She went live this morning talking about the paperwork and the drama, um, around the Tory Lanez trial. And she didn't really bring up the Dennis Byron situation. So I don't know. Maybe she don't know that whole conversation about somebody getting arrested is even out here. I was kind of listening to see if she was going to say something, but she didn't. She kept it on the paperwork and Tory Lanez. So yeah, I don't know. I think that he just put that out there, like a lot of people are saying, just trying to throw his name in the conversation, like he got some information that don't nobody else have. And like Armand was saying to him, like, why all of a sudden people want to talk about the bloggers now? They want to talk about the YouTubers now. Why now? Right? So, yeah, I kind of agree with him. I don't know that I believe Dennis. I think Dennis is just upset because he ain't getting no attention. Anyway, child. Then Vivica, well, let me start with this Queens of Cocktails with the Queens, or whatever it was called. To my understanding, that has been canceled. And that was one of Claudia's shows. And I don't know who Claudia got a relationship with over at Fox Soul, but she must have some type of relationship with somebody where they're allowing her to create these shows. And as we know, some of these ideas have been taken from other people, and I'm not going to get off into that. But, um, to me, I would watch it every now and then, the Queens of Cocktail or whatever, but they didn't grow. They wasn't really growing with that situation. Like they didn't switch it up or do anything different or act as if they was really that excited about doing the show. So I think that would turn a lot of people off and make people just not even want to watch it. And then Lisa Ray putting all that colorist nonsense out there. It's another thing that probably turned a lot of people off as well. I don't know why these people think they could just say whatever the hell they want to say, and people don't have to feel no way about it. You don't get to just say whatever you want to say. I think people gonna tune in to your nonsense. I'm just saying. But I think the combination of the fact that they didn't really grow, there was no growth with the show. However long it was on, you didn't really see it that way. I think Funky Dineva and Al Reynolds, they do add a little bit more of, I don't know. It's just I like that the combination over there. Even though I don't, I'm not no Claudia, but I do like the combination of her and Al and Funky Dineva a little bit more. Um, but what do y'all think about it getting canceled? Do you think that it was just time for it to go anyway? And I think they all have other stuff going on and other situations with Fox. So I think Vivica has some type of movie screening show or programming that she runs. I don't be on Fox so like that, child. Y'all already know. I just don't get into all this stuff. But I'm a music person. I'd rather listen to music than watch the foolishness. That's just how I am. But anyway, speaking of Vivica, she was in an interview with Sherry, and I'm not sure if you guys saw this interview. And I guess she's working on some type of dating show or something. I don't know. That's what I was thinking, just from the clips that I was seeing. And some kind of way, 50 Cent came up and she started saying how I guess Sherry may have asked her, would she go back if things could work out? And she said, yeah, like Jen and Ben. But see, Jen and Ben was engaged the first time around as well, right? They had already established that there was something there and that they would get married, and then they didn't get married, and then they ended up going back, and they're married now. So that's a very different relationship, a very different connection to me. And this is just my opinion. You did not have that type of connection with no damn 50 Cent, with no 50. Number one, you guys were never engaged. I was reading that they were together for 2 years or somewhere in that range of 2 years. Um, yeah, no. And why was she put? Why I don't know. I guess I was raised from the old school, and I kind of agree with older people, that's older women that would say you don't chase a man needs to come after you. I think that that's not a good look. Her putting that out there like that. I feel like I get it. They're in the entertainment industry, so maybe she is after something, and he's very much aware that she's probably after something. Um, that's the only thing I could take from it is she's trying to butter him down for whatever reason by making it sound like he was such a wonderful, connection or whatever. But it's clear that he don't feel that way about her, and that's why it's not a good look for her. It's not a good look for her. You need to let somebody come out here and say all that stuff about you, because he's not saying all of that stuff about Vivica. Okay, and I thought he was in a relationship anyway. I thought he had a girlfriend, and I think the girlfriend checked her before about saying all this stuff. Look, let me start some mess. I thought the girlfriend checked her before about saying all this stuff, knowing that he's in a relationship. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that? Do you think that she should keep trying to act as if she would get back with him? Because I don't ever hear or recall him saying anything like that about her. And so it's probably not going to happen anyway. Um, but they didn't have a Ben and Jen relationship. Like I said, they were engaged the first time around. They just didn't get married the first time. So you can see Jennifer and Ben coming back. You can see Ashanti and Nelly coming back, because whatever was going on between Ashanti and Nelly, they never disrespected each other. They never put it out here. You know what I mean? And so you can see when people have that level of respect for each other, you can see them getting back together. That's not. It was all kind of foolishness going on. for years between 50 Cent and Vivica. I'm not, I shouldn't even be laughing at it. But just to think about it, like when she was like, you can put it back there and all kind of stuff she was saying, y'all remember, if you old enough to remember, child, y'all remember was all kind of foolishness going on back and forth between Vivica and 50. And I'm just not into that whole pain is love type stuff. Like some people think that if you just acting a fool with the other person, that that's some symbol of love. I'm not into that. I think peace is very important, and it's important in a relationship as well. I don't agree that that was some symbol of love, them fighting and carrying on like that. I think that that's stuff that you need to stay away from, and probably both of them should feel that way. Um, Now, like I said, she could just be trying to butter him down to get something. He is making moves in Hollywood or whatever. And so maybe she thinks that having that connection with him or friendship with him will help her in some way. And that's the only thing I could take from it. What do you guys think? Do you agree with the old school women who say you do not chase no man around? A man needs to come after you, because that's kind of what I believe. I don't think that she should be out here putting all this stuff out there like that. And that's just my opinion. Um, that's just my opinion. But you guys can let me know when you think about the Vivica and 50 situation and her comparing them to Jennifer and Ben Affleck. Or like I said, even Nelly and Ashanti. Like y'all not even Nelly and Ashanti, okay? So please cut it out. Um, but what do y'all think? Do you think that she should have put that out there? Do you think that she's after something? Because he probably thinks that as well, that she's after something. Because that's how it feels. Let me know what you guys think about the cocktail, the Queen of the Cocktail, whatever it was, going away. I think that they're going to put the other show on more nights with Funky Dineva and Al Reynolds. Um, what do you think about the John Amos situation? His daughter saying that he was being abused. And I hope that his kids, like I said, even with the Whitney situation, I hope that they pay more attention to the people that they may be hiring these people themselves, but they need to pay attention to these people, um, and see who they are and what all they got going on. Especially if you're gonna leave, because I think the daughter was not saying she was out of town. I think I was reading they were saying the daughter was out of town, and I don't know where the son lives. Um, I don't know. The man is up in age. You would think that they would spend more time with him, but like I said, he don't want to leave his property, and they don't want to move to Colorado. So it could be a situation like that. But they definitely should know who's around him. That's what I think. Let me know what y'all think about that situation. What do you think about Denea and her $5,000 infidelity course? Child. I think she should do something with the church girl summer. I think that's a cute. It has a cute ring to it. It makes for a cute weekend or 4-day weekend situation. Let me know what y'all think about all these stories in the comments. And Peter talking about we not his people, child. We not his people, but y'all can go down there and buy some oxtails and a drink. Anyway, let me know what y'all think about all these stories in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.